Right now, American consumers are carrying $1.28 trillion in credit card debt. That is not a typo, $1.28 trillion. And most of the people carrying that debt are making their payments every month. They are not missing payments. They are making the minimum payment, exactly as their credit card company designed. Today, we are going to expose exactly how minimum payments were designed and what they are actually costing you. To understand the trap, you need to understand the history, because minimum payments were not always calculated the way they are now. In the early days of credit cards, the 1950s and 1960s, credit card companies required customers to pay their full balance every month. That made credit cards safe for consumers. The balance could never spiral. You spent it, you paid it, done. Then, in the 1970s, credit card companies made a strategic change. They introduced the concept of the minimum payment. The stated reason was consumer convenience. You no longer had to pay the full balance. You could pay a small portion and carry the rest. The real reason was profit, specifically interest profit, the interest that accumulates on every dollar you carry from month to month. A customer who pays their full balance every month generates zero interest income for the credit card company. A customer who carries a balance generates hundreds or thousands of dollars in interest income every year. This is where behavioral economics enters the picture. Credit card companies did not just introduce minimum payments, they engineered them. They hired behavioral economists and psychologists to design the minimum payment in a way that would maximize the balance customers carry. The research was extensive, and the findings were used not to protect consumers, but to extract maximum profit from them. Finding 1. If you tell people the minimum payment, they anchor to it. They treat the minimum as the target. Research by behavioral economists Neil Stewart and Adam Harris showed that displaying a minimum payment reduces the amount people pay. Customers who were not shown a minimum payment paid significantly more than customers who were shown one. The minimum payment does not just set a floor, it sets a ceiling in most people's minds. Finding 2. The lower the minimum payment as a percentage of the balance, the more interest the lender collects. In the 1970s, many credit cards required a minimum payment of 5% of the balance. Over the following decades, credit card companies quietly reduced the minimum to 2% and, in many cases, just 1% of the balance. Each reduction seemed small, but each reduction dramatically extended how long customers stayed in debt and how much interest they paid. Finding 3. The pain of paying is reduced when the payment feels small relative to the purchase. A $20 minimum payment on a $2,000 purchase feels almost free. The purchase feels paid for. This psychological trick encourages more spending because the perceived cost of each purchase is reduced to its minimum payment. Now, let us show you exactly what minimum payments are costing you in real numbers. Take a $5,000 credit card balance at a 22% interest rate. The minimum payment on this balance is approximately $100 per month, about 2%. If you make only the minimum payment every month, how long does it take to pay off that $5,000 balance? Not 3 years, not 5 years. At minimum payments, that $5,000 balance takes approximately 27 years to pay off. 27 years to pay off a balance you likely spent in a few months. And here is the number that should truly disturb you. The total amount you pay back at minimum payments is approximately $12,500. You borrowed $5,000, you paid back $12,500. The difference, $7,500, went to the credit card company as interest. That $7,500 did not buy you anything. It did not feed you. It did not house you. It enriched your lender. Now, let us scale this. The average American household carrying credit card debt holds approximately $9,000 in balances. At minimum payments, that $9,000 balance takes approximately 32 years to pay off at typical rates. Total amount repaid, approximately $25,000 on a $9,000 balance. And this is happening simultaneously to tens of millions of households across the country. That's how you get to $1.28 trillion, one household at a time, one minimum payment at a time. Now, let's understand how profitable this is for credit card companies, because understanding their business model changes everything. The average credit card interest rate in the United States currently is above 20%. Compare that to a savings account at approximately 4 to 5%, or the stock market at a historical average of 7 to 10%. Credit card companies are borrowing money at approximately 5% and lending it to you at 22%. That 17 percentage point spread is one of the most profitable margins in all of banking, and minimum payments ensure it continues as long as possible. Even knowing this, minimum payments remain psychologically powerful. Here are the 4 traps still running in your brain right now. Trap 1. The anchoring effect. The minimum payment number on your statement anchors your perception of what a normal payment looks like. Your brain sees the minimum and unconsciously treats it as the correct or expected payment amount. Trap 2. Payment decoupling. The gap between spending and paying reduces the psychological pain of the original purchase. You bought something exciting last month, now you're paying for it this month in a tiny installment that feels disconnected from the original purchase. Trap 3. The good customer illusion. Paying the minimum on time creates a psychological sense of financial responsibility. You're paying on time every month, your credit score stays healthy, you feel financially responsible, but the balance barely moves. Trap 4. Future self-discounting. The pain of the full balance is future pain. The ease of the minimum payment is present relief. Your brain values present relief dramatically more than future financial health. Paying the minimum is the easy choice today at enormous cost to your future self. Now, let's talk about exactly how you break out of the minimum payment trap permanently. Step 1. Stop looking at the minimum payment number on your statement entirely. Cover it, ignore it, delete it from your awareness. It is not information, it is manipulation. Step 2. Calculate the total balance on every card you carry. Write it down. Look at the real number. Most people have never seen all their credit card debt in one place at the same time. That number, uncomfortable as it is your starting point. Step 3. Apply the debt avalanche method. Pay minimums on everything and throw every extra dollar at the highest interest rate balance first. Even a $50 extra per month above the minimum on a $5,000 balance saves you approximately $4,000 in interest. Even $50, not $500, not $5,000, $50 per month changes the trajectory completely. Step 4. Automate your payment at the highest amount you can afford, not the minimum. Automation removes the monthly decision, the decision that behavioral economists know is influenced by anchoring and present bias. Step 5. Once a card is paid off, cut it or freeze it. Don't let the available credit become a spending temptation. Now, let's talk about the opportunity cost. What could that $7,500 in interest have done for you instead? $7,500 invested at 8% for 20 years becomes $34,900. The interest you paid to your credit card company, if invested instead, would have grown to nearly $35,000. For the average household carrying $9,000 in credit card debt, the opportunity cost over a working lifetime is staggering. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Minimum payments were designed not to help you pay off your debt, they were designed to keep you in debt as long as possible. The $1.28 trillion crisis is not the result of reckless spending alone. It is the result of a system engineered to profit from your balance. Now you know how the system works, and knowing how it works is the first step to escaping it. Pay more than the minimum every month without exception, even if it's just $50 more. Because the credit card company designed the minimum to serve their interests, your job is to design your payment to serve yours. If this gave you one idea worth acting on, subscribe. Every week we break down the numbers, systems, and frameworks that build real wealth. See you in the next one.